Sex. S-E-X. Sacred energy exchange. What is more beautiful than that? Unfortunately, the meaning of sex has been corrupted. It's been repressed by religion and culture, and on the other side there is a fake liberation of porn and promiscuity. Despite this, sex is everywhere. It's all over mainstream media, it's on music videos, it's in advertising. Sex is used to sell. Despite this, we're not supposed to talk about it. Shh! Because the word sex makes people feel very ashamed. So sex can be synonymous with shame. The shame of sex is like a backpack. It's a weight that brings us down, and this backpack is given to generation to generation. I know all about this because I was brought up in a very religious background, so I say no, you keep the backpack, I am not taking it. Also, the words we use related to sex are very taboo, not just the word sex itself, but let me tell you about, let's say, parts of the body. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, you know, all of that. But when we speak about vocabulary for the genitals, we don't have real words. I have a theory that if you take a class of 5-year-old children and you ask them to name different parts of their body, they will all have different names for the genitals. Let me inform you if you don't know the words. The external genitals of the female is a vulva, and inside is a vagina, but we don't really mention vaginas until people have periods and have sex and have babies. So vulva and penis, and the clitoris, that's never mentioned in sex education because we're not supposed to enjoy it. Sex is only for reproduction. I was talking about genital names with a friend of mine a couple of years ago, and to my shock, he told me that to his little girl, they refer to her genitals as the Auntie Mary. Can you imagine? So imagine when a girl grows up, she will know when it's not called Auntie Mary, that in fact you are transmitting shame to that child. That child knows that this word is not supposed to be known. There is no real word for genitals. And if we don't have a word for genitals, later in life it translates to shame inside a couple. When we are intimate, we can say to people, hey, rub my neck, it's sore. Massage my back, but touch my clitoris? No, we don't mention those words. Let me tell you why this subject fascinates me so much. In 2009, I left my job in luxury real estate to pursue a career as an influencer. I set up a sex blog, and it's been going very well ever since. Within 3 months, I had a book deal, and then I started writing for many Spanish media outlets. I've written for El País, I've been interview cover model twice, I've published 3 books, one of which is Inglés para pervertidos, English for perverts. So I've always been talking about sex in many different contexts. My main objective was to help people overcome this shame and to enjoy sex, because pleasure is just the beginning. But then, 3 years ago, in 2018, I actually discovered new meanings of sex. I read this book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. You know this book? It's a big, very famous book in personal development world. In fact, it's about success and money and entrepreneurship. It was written in 1937 and it's still a best-selling book today. When I got to chapter 10, The Mystery of Sex Transmutation, I thought, oh my God, what is sex doing in a book about success? Sex transmutation is the act of transmuting sexual energy into a different form of energy. In simple terms, it would mean, let's imagine you're feeling aroused. Instead of doing something about the arousal, you would breathe and use thought and meditation and direct this energy towards something else that you are working on. If you're an artist, you might paint, you might write, you might do something else. And he said that many of the most successful people in the world were very sexual, but they weren't promiscuous because they were using their energy in a very clever way, let's say. And I thought that's very interesting. But for me, I'm actually a sex toy designer and sex toy reviewer. I cannot deny myself this energy. So then I went down the rabbit hole in discovering lots of new things about sexual energy. And I came across a practice called sex magic. If you are interested in this, another amazing book, Sexual Sorcery. This talks about how to use sexual energy to manifest. It's like the law of attraction, but a lot more fun, believe me. And it works. And I have been practicing this now for 3 years, and I've manifested incredible things. You might have to ask me another time in the bar about how I've done that. And then lastly, of the new meanings of sex, I came across the concept or sex in Taoism and Tantra. So there is a writer called Mantak Chia. He was the author of Multi-Orgasmic Man, The Multi-Orgasmic Woman, and they are bestsellers. And this book in particular talks about how we can cultivate female sexual energy and use it for healing. So that's very interesting. So now for me, sex has new meanings. It's not just about reproduction or pleasure. It can be about power and using this energy to actually manifest anything you want in your life. That's why it's so taboo. Sex is not taboo because it's sinful or bad. It's because it's powerful. And if you just use porn or promiscuity, I believe that you are losing that energy. So next time you hear the word sex, S-E-X, remember it's not bad. It's a sacred energy exchange. What is more beautiful than that?